Incidentally, that's not Fort Knox. It's a film set here, Goldfinger in Buckinghamshire, Pinewood. I'm not James Bond. He's a fictitious character, as so many are in Fleming's books. Excepting one, a Geoffrey Boothroyd, a Scotsman who lives in Glasgow, whose hobby is guns. After reading From Russia with Love, he was so convinced that Bond was using the least efficient equipment that he contacted Fleming and convinced Fleming of this. And then Fleming added an extra chapter in Dr. No. Well, I take you over now to a film clip. You'll see here where Major Boothroyd, who's played by an actor, of course, is convincing 007 in the presence and company of M of Fleming's mistake. Now, this is the gun Boothroyd objected to. The real Boothroyd, that is. Bond's favorite Beretta, which is almost legendary now. Bond was using the shoulder holster at the time. But his favorite holster was chamois leather, because you see, it didn't spoil the line of the jacket.
My name's Geoffrey Boothroyd. I'm not Major Boothroyd, but I do share with the Major an interest in firearms. It started with me a long, long time ago. How exactly, I can't say. I suppose I had the small boy's usual interest. And then I met someone who was extremely keen, and he set the glowing embers that were in me alight. The mistakes that one makes, both in novels, in films, even the BBC's made mistakes, because I'm not a Scot, and my first contact with Ian Fleming was after reading Casino Royale. I enjoyed this immensely. So much so that certain inaccuracies in the book made me write to Fleming and say that I didn't think Bond was going to last very long if he used a 2.5 Beretta pistol, which is a lady's gun and not a very nice lady at that, and used his chamois leather holster. I have a preference for a revolver for the type of work that secret agents, private eyes might be called upon to do. But when some considerable time ago we had a conversation and also correspondence with Ian Fleming, he decided to use in the book, and of course it's gone into the pictures as well about Bond, the Walther PPK. This to me is a compromise because although we've got a little more power with the Walther, in English measurements it's 32 caliber rather than 2.5, which was the size of the Beretta, it's still an automatic pistol. The most important thing, irrespective of whether we're dealing with revolvers or automatic pistols, is stopping power. And this is, again, a very debatable thing. You can look in the manufacturer's tables for muzzle velocities, muzzle energies, and all the rest of it. But after all, in real life, we're shooting at human beings, and these differ very definitely one from the other. We can, for example, give some idea of the differences between, say, an ordinary 2.2 long rifle cartridge, a 2.5 cartridge, such as you get in the Beretta, a 32, like you'd have in a Walther, and something really in the big gun class, the 44 Magnum. We could shoot at quart cans of tomato juice, and you'd definitely see the effect there.
Here's the three guns. I brought them out on the range so you can see them in action. The Beretta automatic, until recently Bond's favorite gun, although his had a skeleton stock. The Walther PPK, the gun that Bond now uses, chosen by Ian Fleming, who definitely preferred automatics to revolvers. It's a good compromise and gives you a very rapid first shot, and that's the one that counts. Here's my favorite, the 44 Ruger Magnum, a man-sized gun, but with this length of barrel, too big to hide under an agent's coat. You've only got to look at the ammunition to see the difference. The 44 dwarfs the 32 from the Walther and the 2.5 from the Beretta. We've got the cans of tomato juice. Let's see what the guns will do. First, the Beretta. Magazine in. Not much damage, a small clean hole. Now for the Walther. Heavier caliber, it should have more stopping power. The can has bulged and the hole's definitely bigger and would do far more damage to a man than the 2.5. We put a fresh can up and I'll have a go with my heavy artillery, the 44 Magnum. A heavier bullet, travelling much faster than the other two. Makes a jolly good can opener, but not practical for Bond, so it's the Volta for him. The other thing, of course, about the Volta is the fact that it's got this double action feature, rather like the double action revolver, and it is ready for instant use. You'll see the Volta in the latest Bond films, and although I'd still like to see him using a proper revolver, this I don't think is going to happen now, because Ian Fleming isn't there to write anymore, and the Volta is really part of the Bond image.